Changing Minnesota directions. You get to read with purpose again. Only one purpose question today, but first, a video. First, watch that fur trade video in Schoology. What changes might have happened in Minnesota because of the events in this video? Some events in this video were, those events changed Minnesota by, pause, watch the video, and answer this question. Reading with purpose. 1, set a purpose for reading. 2, read a bit. 3, pause and ask some questions. 4, jot down notes. Purpose for reading. How did Dakota and Ojibwe lives change because of the fur trade? Coming changes. The European traders, along with their American Indian suppliers, all belonged to a vast trading network that took only a few decades to develop. Native people caught the animals, prepared the furs, and sold them to the Europeans. The Europeans and American Indians bargained with each other to get the best deals possible. The voyageurs paddled hundreds of miles, carrying trade goods and pelts back and forth between the trading posts and the big settlements, such as Montreal. I learned that. This makes me think of. Pause. Answer those. For more than 100 years, the fur trade brought new, useful goods to the Dakota and Ojibwe people, but at a cost. By the 1800s, these new manufactured goods began to replace traditional tools. Steel axes were durable, and it was easier to trap furs to trade for a metal axe than it was to make a stone axe. Over time, the Dakota and Ojibwe relied more and more on the goods provided by the French and the British. Skills such as making axes from stone became less important. New ways of living were replacing ways that had been successful for centuries. I learned that. This makes me think of. Pause and answer. By 1804, when Sayre set up his post on the Snake River, the fur trade with the British was entering its final years. After the War of 1812 ended, only U.S. citizens were allowed to trade in this area. By 1825, the American Fur Company would take control of the fur trade in this region. If the British and French wanted to keep trading here, they would have to become U.S. citizens. It was one of the first signs that this new nation, which had formed in the lands to the east, was now looking west to the lands of the Dakota and Ojibwe. I learned that, and this makes me think of. Pause and answer. How did Dakota and Ojibwe lives change because of the fur trade? The fur trade changed the lives of the Dakota and Ojibwe by, pause and answer. One last question with no wrong answers. Think about the Dakota and Ojibwe today. How might their lives have changed in the year 2020? The lives of the Dakota and Ojibwe might have changed in 2020 because, pause and answer, and then all done, amazing, turn it in, MNS Changing Minnesota. You are a champ. Thanks.